who come on to married men. Hello, y'all. I'm Diana Brienne. Well, I guess I could have called this men who come on to married women, but I think that for the purpose of this video, I'm talking about women who come on to married men. But it can go both ways. And so what about women who come on to married men? You know, I know a lot of men, and I'm friendly, and I'm warm, and I'm nice, but there's a big difference between my friendliness and coming on to somebody. I know how much conversation to engage in, if at all, and I know if there's any hugs involved, it's usually a very polite, very brief hug, you know, when you see somebody, oh, hi, how are you? And it also determines whether I'm with my husband or not with my husband. And it depends on whether the person's single or whether they're married. So a lot of factors go into how the impression that we give when we go to somebody. But there are women that go after married men. They don't care. And if they see a glimmer, just even a glimmer of hope, they'll pursue that relationship. And generally speaking, a woman will not go after a man who they know has that invisible wall around him, that, you know, is polite, is nice, but does not let anybody go beyond that because he's committed to his wife. Okay, but men that, you know, don't have that invisible wall, so to speak. Well, how do you get an invisible wall? Well, it's just kind of a figurative of speech or figure of speech, that it's sort of a way of just, you know, knowing how to be polite to somebody without letting them think that there could be more. And I think sometimes men give off a vibration, you know, that they're just a little too friendly with a woman, and she can get the idea that there is going to be more. And so, you know, both are doing something that's not right, even though the woman should not be coming on to a married man. Absolutely not. But the married man should have that invisible wall up. It's like politeness, you know, but that's it. And so I think that there are women that come on to married men, you know, and it's just the way it is. But what I have noticed is if a man has that invisible wall up and they know he's committed and they know that, you know, hey, you know, it stops right here, you know, at politeness, professionalism or whatever in the workplace or wherever, then usually that person's going to move on to somebody else. Okay. They're not going to waste their time on somebody who is totally unavailable. And smart men who are committed in their relationship are totally unavailable. And they let everybody know that they have a wife, and they let everybody know, you know, that, they have a great relationship and they're committed to their wife. They don't have to go around saying that, but it's just that way they present that themselves, and it's their impression. And so, you know, I think that married men sometimes can give the impression and mislead, but it's still not right that, of course, the other woman or that woman who's trying to cheat or, you know, come on to the married man. I mean, it's, you know, she should not be doing that. That is absolutely not good that she's doing that. And yet the married man if he senses that someone's coming on to him, he needs to put up that wall right away and say, I gotta go now, gotta go, you know, something like that. Polite, but it give no hope that there could be anything any beyond that. And so what I have noticed in some relationships is that some men have given just a glimmer of hope. And so that woman will keep coming back and coming back and coming back as long as she thinks that there's any hope. Okay, from my house to yours, I hope to talk to you soon again. Bye-bye.